Do you want to solve Sudoku faster? I have watched how Sudoku experts and champions solve puzzles in competition, and I will reveal their scanning method to you. I will show you not only how to change your own scanning habits, but why this method will help you solve the green cell and the rest of this Sudoku quicker. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go, and with that, it's solving time. Look here in block 5. You'll only have 4 cells remaining here, right? And we need a 1, 2, 5, or 8. You notice right here, 5, 1, and 8 all look in this cell. So we can solve that for a 2 right away. And then the 1 and 5 are in the same column. You can solve that for an 8. Only place a 1 can go because of this 1 is right here, means this has to be a 5. Greetings, friend. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you to Smart Hobbies. Subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. You want to turn your passing interest in Sudoku into a fun and enjoyable hobby. Look across row 6. Notice we have 5 cells filled out. A 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. We need a 2, 6, 7, 9. The 6 covers these cells and this cell. We know we can solve a 6 right here. It's the only place it will go. And now that you have the 2 and the 7 right here, this has to be your 9. As you work your way across, you can see that the 7's limited to this cell, and this has to be your 2. So today we're solving like champions. This is a competitive puzzle from the second round of Sudoku Grand Prix. The key here, try to stay close to where you made your last solve and see if you can fill out the block or row or column. So now let's stay here in block 4. Okay, we need a 1, 3, 4, 9. Well, I got a 1, 4, 9 right there. That's got to be your 3. The 1 can only go here because of this one. And now you got the 4, 9. 9's right there. 9 and the 4. We had a nice little block here. And now what you want to notice is you want to challenge yourself. What can we do and solve pretty close to here? You see there's a 4 and a 1 in column 2. There's a 4 and a 1 in column 3. There is no 4 and 1 down here in column 1 in block 7, but there's only 2 places left. And so you know the 1 and 4 have to both go in those 2 cells. This is called a hidden pair. I cover hidden pairs along with the other top Sudoku strategies in my Sudoku solving guide. What this means to you is that you can become an expert on over 80% of all the Sudokus you'll ever see. Click on the pinned comment to get it for free and start sharpening your mind now. You want a sharper mind, right? Look up and let's see what this does for us. We just create a bunch of restriction in column 1. And so you look up here and you'll see that we need a 3, 5, or an 8. I'm going to show you my neat naked triple trick to solve this. You have 3 and a 5 right there. That's 2 to 3 digits. And then one of those, the 5 is repeated. Whenever you have this situation, you can solve all 3 cells. Because we know this cell has to be the 8. The 5 can only go right there. And this is going to be your 3. Now we can stay up here in block 1 and see if we can try to solve that green cell. You know, it can't be a 1, can't be a 3, 4, 5, it can't be a 6, 7, or an 8. It can be a 2 or a 9, but we do not have enough information yet to figure out if it's a 2 or a 9. So I look right here and go, okay, I need to move a different part of the grid, finish up where we have a lot of restrictions. Look across row 4. All we need is a 3 and a 7. Got my 3 right there. So here's your 7. Here's your 3. And now I just solved the 3. And we can start doing some solves up here in block 3. With this 3 and this 3, we can solve for 3 here. And what's interesting, we just added some more digits along column 8. So if I stay up here in block 3, this is what the champions do. I watch them. They go up into a block and they try to do, I call it clumping. They try to figure out everything in the block. If they can do that, then they can move on to another hard puzzle and they don't have to go back to this part. The other thing is it reduces their scan time. They're not scanning all the way across all these rows and columns back and forth. The reason you're probably slower than you want to be is because the amount of time you scan through the grid and look back, or you forget something that was in a cell and so you have to go and remember it again. If you can clean up these blocks, you solve it once, you're done, you can move on. What can this cell be? Can't be a 1, can't be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 9. It has to be a 2. And now what you may notice is because of this 4 right here, the 4s are limited to these 2 cells. So I'm going to do what's called Snyder notation. Anytime in a 3x3 block, two possibilities for can't, you mark it. In case you solve one of the cells, you can solve the other one right away. You may notice the 7 does the same thing. It has to be in those same cells. And so whenever you see the Snyder marks on top of each other, that is a hidden pair. So just like with the 1, 4, now we can do it with the 4, 7. And that restricts the cells right here to a 1, 8, 9. And what I've seen Tan Dai do, the current world champion, is she would mark this above the grid. So she might mark a 4, 7 up here. She'd mark 1, 8, 9 right there. So she doesn't have to erase this when she solves these. She can just remember, hey, that is what is right there, that whole naked triple. Okay, that can't be a 8, and this cell could be a 1, 8, or a 9. But this 4, 7 puts the 1, 8, 9 right here as well. Okay, you move the 1 there. You got the 8 here and the 9 right there. Since you have 8s have to be in one of these cells in column 7, and it has to be in one of these cells in column 9, where can the 8 go here? It has to be in column 8. So that's got to be your 8, and that's going to be your 5. And now, because we have a naked triple, it can only be a 2 or 6. My 2's right there. I'm moving now into block 7. That's your 2. That is your 6. Give me a thumbs up if you're able to solve this 5, 8, or drop in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. How can we use this knowledge of our 8 now to solve for the 8 here in block 9? Block 9 is our focus area. Well, if you look across row 7, where can an 8 go? It can't be here because of this 8. Can't be here because of this 8. And now it can't be here because of that 8. We can actually solve that 8 right away, which means this has to be your 9. That's got to be your 1. Okay. And now we can kind of work our way across over here into block 7. That's got to be the 8 there. We just solved the 1, so that's a 4. That's a 1. Okay, let's look now across row 8. We have a 1, 3, 7, 8, 9. You need a 2, 4, 5, 6. A lot of restriction right here in block 8 here. This is going to help us solve the whole row. Because you have the 2, 4, 6 here. This has to be your 5, which is going to allow us to finish up block 9. Awesome. And now we just need the 2 and the 6 left. Well, the 2 right there. That's your 2, and that is your 6. Great. And now I'm going to show you another neat naked triple trick. We can solve all 3 cells down here in block 7. We need a 3, 5, to 6. Well, I see the 5, 6 right there. And then the 5's repeated right here. So the same idea, to the cell, see this, to the candidates, see this cell. And then one of those is repeated in a different cell. You can solve all 3. We know this has to be your 3. The only place the 5 goes right there, and that's got to be your 6. If you really like these tips, consider buying me a coffee or click on the super thanks here on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. Because now we can finish row 9. All right, we're looking for a 3 and a 9. I'll pull the 9 down and go, this has got to be a 9, and that's got to be the 3. And now we just need a 4, 7. I'm going to pull that 4 down from block 5. So here's your 4. Here's your 7. So what you've noticed is we filled out these blocks. And so now we don't have to do anything else down here in blocks 7, 8, 9, or 4, 5, 6. We've done a lot of clumping or chunking, however you want to describe it. Which block should we focus on now? Obviously, we want to solve the green cell, but another reason to go to block 1 is because there's already 5 digits filled out in block 1. There's only 3 in block 2, and there's only 4 in block 3. You don't include the 4, 7. Let's go over here to block 1 and see what we can do. You want to look for great restriction. We need a 2 or 7 right here. Got the 2 in row 2, so that's your 2 and that's your 7. And guess what? Now we're going to be able to solve the green cell, right? You also see there's a 6 going in there. The 6 has to be right here, and our green cell is a 9. How can we use that to further solve block 2 now? With this 9 and this 9, and this 9 right here, the only place for a 9 in block 2 is right there. So we can disambiguate the 1, 8, 9, all of that in block 3. This 8 and this 8 now means you got the 8, 4 right here. Disambiguate the 7, 4 right here. And then we can work the rest of the solve. Only place for a 1 is right there. We need a 6 for a 7. I see the 7, I pull it over, so that's your 6, and that's your 7. Check out this next video and see how I analyze and break down the solve of the current world champion Tan Tan die. Thank you so much for watching.